Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm JKG Brandon. This is the first video in a series I'm going to call Raid 101. We're going to take a look and break down and dissect each aspect of playing Raid from a beginner's perspective first. And then as this free-to-play account that we're on, the JKG No Dimes, as this account progresses, we'll take a look at it from an intermediate and then advanced perspective as well, because I do have my main account that I've been playing since 2018. I've been playing this game forever. Since it came out. A lot of this stuff for OG players is second nature. You just kind of see the champions and this is, what you need to do. For a brand new player, and this is the reason why I'm making this video and this series, with this account, I've seen an influx of players that have never played Raid before, commenting on the videos, asking questions and stuff. So I just kind of want to head this off and get a little bit of a series going here to try to help a lot of those players out. So if you're an OG Raid player, if you feel like from a beginner's perspective, especially in this one, that I overlooked something, or you feel like I didn't touch on something enough, by all means, comment below. This is a community forum. Treat it like that to try to help grow all of these young players' accounts, and we'll just kind of get right up on into it. So what are we going to do in this video? We're going to identify, we're going to try to show you how to identify who you want to level up and make your first 6-star. Identify how many food champions it's going to take to make them a 6-star. And then how to obtain the food champions that you're going to need to make them. Once you have them, where to farm and how to rank them up. So little 5 steps, not crazy. It's not super insane. It's not rocket surgery. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. This is stuff that is, pretty easy to do. Once you kind of get used to doing it, it just takes a little bit of time to get used to doing it. So what I made is I made a little infographic. You can kind of see right there. It is called Making Food. It's available on the community tab on my page, on my channel here. But basically, it's very basic information. It's not going to do the entirety as far as letting you know exactly how many 3-star champions it's going to take to make one 6-star champion. It's not going to give you that total number. But what it is going to do is it's going to tell you need 4 3-star champions to make one 4-star champion. You need 1 champion to level up, 3 to make food, 3 to put in as food, and then you get to rank them up. And you need 5 4-stars correspondingly. So 1 to level up all the way to max, and then 4 to feed in, and that gives you the 1 5-star champion. And then 6 5-star champions turns into 1 6-star champion. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, it will make sense to you eventually. I'll go ahead and take that off the screen here on my screen. Now, one thing that we can kind of do is from the bastion here, from our campfire, if you will, where are we going to get our champions? We'll get to that in just a second. First and foremost, identify who you want to level up. 99.9% of the time from a vanilla raid, no crazy promo code or anything like that, we're going to use our starter champion. In my case, for this account, it would have been Kale. I did have the Sun Wukong promo, which is Monkey King. So if you are a brand new account I think it's under 48 hours, you can use a new player promo code. This one is Monkey King to get Sun Wukong, who's an incredible champion for progression and arena progression as well. So I went ahead and made him my first 6-star because he's going to bring a lot to the table, and Kale is usable at 50 for a long time if I need to. Not a big deal. From this video perspective, we're going to look at if we're going to use Kale. We're just going to talk vanilla raid. He's our starter champion. Kale, Aethel, Elhain, Gallic. Those 4 champions are all great options for your first 6-star. The reason being is their kits have baked in an additional 15% chance of inflicting a crit, so you don't have to have them fully crit capped. You can get them to 85% crit rate typically, and they can farm. All 4 of those champions can farm with basic gear. Now, when we say farm, we want to solo a level with this champion. If we can solo the level with this champion, that's where we want to farm. The highest level you can do that, whether it's stage 6, whether it's stage 12, doesn't matter. highest level you can solo, that's where we want to go. So that's how to identify who you're going to level up, who's going to be your food farmer. Now, where are we going to get the food to do this? How to get all of the food that we need to do. So there's two places we can get a lot of food really quickly. One of them is the market. You can, buy these the 1-star and 2-star champions that are 6,000, 8,000, 10,000 coins, right? I don't always buy the 2 stars that are up around 40,000 because I pull my mystery shards quite often. Always buy your mystery shards in here. What I always like to do is I try to wait. This is a bonus. I try to wait until these have an ancient shard to unlock them, just because the resources are kind of necessary in the early game. But that's a great place to get a lot of champions early. Also, mystery shards. Come in here, pull a temp pop. When you have your daily where it says pull 3 champions, come in here, pull a 10 pop of mystery shards. You're gonna get 99% of them are gonna be 1 and 2 star champions. That's fine. We can use that. We can make those champions into the food champions that we need to do. So once we have our champions that we're going to use as food for the next champion that we're leveling up, where do we farm these? Where do we farm the XP? How much XP are we going to get? That's a good question. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. My son Wukong can farm level 12, stage 3, which is where we want to farm primarily, if you can. The reason being is shields sell for more silver. Silver, we need to upgrade our gear and move gear around and stuff like that. So silver is an ever-ending quest. You always need to keep silver in mind. Now, if you don't care at all about silver, stage 6, where you get your boots, is going to be a good one because you do get more XP. If you're farming brutal, if you're farming hard, normal, brutal, use stage 3, the shield stage, whatever level you're at. So if you're not able to do, level 12 and you can only do Palace of Arabia level 6, do stage 3 for the shield. You're just going to get more silver. It's going to help you in the long run. So how do we set it up? If you have multi-battles, you can set up multi-battles. In here, you can be efficient and you can say we're going to continue the multi-battle even when all champions hit the max level. We don't want that because if all of the champions have that, we want it to stop. Actually, no, we want to let that go because we want to put in food, I believe. Let me know I've never actually messed around with that. I always just check that one. You can continue the multi-battle if you lose a battle. You can uncheck that if you're worried about that, but you should be, if you're in the mode of food farming, you should be able to 100% clear whatever level you're at. And then you can set your food. We're going to put a couple champions in here. We're not going to use multi-battles for this. We're going to bring Aox in here because I believe we're going to be able to show exactly how much XP we get for having one food as opposed to 3 food. So we're going to show you the difference here. So we're going to bring him, we're going to bring a Rockstone, and we're gonna Rock Beast, and we're gonna bring Roughstone here. So we'll do 2 fights. Hopefully we can show the amount of XP because it is a big difference between this. So you want to farm, like I said, as high as you can solo. If you can only solo stage 1 of a level of the highest level, then that's where you're gonna farm. It doesn't really matter. You have to do the grinding. This part is the most grinding of the game. It is very tedious, but it does pay off very, very well because it's something we're always going to have to do. We always have to level up champions. When we get a new legendary, when we get a new epic, when we get a usable rare, something like that, we're going to have to get them leveled up, and we have to get them leveled up as quickly as we can. So you want to be able to solo and you want to be able to get through it. You can see under a minute, not a big deal. We got a little bit of points. We get about 8,000 points. It's like 8,300, 8,400 points for XP, having a full set of champions when we take the other 2 food champions out, then we can go back in. We can solo this with our Sun Wukong. With our Kale would do this just fine once he's 6-star. And we can go ahead and do this. Get through this without dying is the biggest key. And then, come on, buddy. It's once you get a really good campaign farmer. There are some campaign farmers that can farm all 3 waves in like 6 seconds. I think Fellhound is one of those. Bellower can be one of those that goes really fast. Somebody that has AoE, pretty much nothing but AoE hits and has good multipliers, fast animations are key to going fast here. We don't have to go fast, but you can see right here, Aox got 17,304. So it's almost effectively double the XP by only taking 1 champion hit. So that is one great way to do that. Now, once you have a champion at their max level, so whether you're leveling somebody up from level 3, level 4, level 5, it's all the same process. So once you have somebody there, we come in here and we're lucky we have a couple chickens, and then we can put in a couple champions. If a champion has this little circle right here, that means they are a fusion champion. And you may want to, for your account progression and everything like that, you may want to not sacrifice them. I'm just doing this for the video just to kind of put them in here. I'm not actually going to sacrifice these champions just yet because I do need them. But once you have your food in here, you do get these chickens as well over time. They are hard to come by, especially like the 5-star chickens and the 4-star chickens. They're a lot harder to come by than 3-star chickens. But what we can do is once we have that, you go ahead here, hit your upgrade, and this champion will go from a 4-star level 40 to a 5-star level 1. And you just repeat that process until you have all of your champions made, and then you are able to make your first 6-star. Then you can start working on ascending them, booking them, and all that kind of stuff. That's for another video down the road. I hope you guys like this format, and if you have any questions or concerns, by all means drop them in the comments below. If you're like I said at the beginning, if you're an OG player and you feel like I glossed over something or I didn't cover something, by all means leave it in the comments below and we can add that to the intermediate video that will be coming up here in the coming weeks. Hope you guys like this. Again, if you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you know what is coming up in the future. I'm JKG Brandon. Y'all have been amazing. Love you guys. Peace.